can't do that. You can't do that. You are not allowed to do that, man. You can't just, oh my God, you can't just kidnap a random dude. In case he's not random, but okay. I just wanted to, sorry, I'm just rambling right now. I'm digesting the news. I think that everybody is right now, which is the whole Maduro thing. And I'm just fascinated in American politics sometimes. Like it feels so much like rules for thee and not for me. I almost said we. But what are we fucking doing, dude? Like, I understand that the dude's a dictator. I understand that he's done some fucking heinous things, but you're not allowed to just intervene in international conflicts like that. What the most annoying part about being American or like living in the States is this exact thing, where like the America oftentimes feels like it is the big brother of all of these other countries, and it needs to facilitate and dictate and install democracies for some reason, where we can't even figure out our own democracy. Democratic Republic, regardless, but we can't even figure out what we're doing here. Why are we going across the fucking sea to figure out other people's problems when we can't figure out our own? I know there are people who are happy that this happened. I understand why there are people that are happy. Obviously, the dude, again, was a terrible person, or is a terrible person. It's not like past tense, right? But this feels eerily similar to Saddam Hussein, to Gaddafi. Again, terrible people, don't get me wrong, but when the US oftentimes steps in to intervene into these types of conflicts, it doesn't end well. Long term, what happened in the Middle East? This is the exact same thing. It's happening all over again. And people say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. This is exactly the same thing. Look, there's also some, not metaphor, but there's a theory that every great regime lasts for about 100 years, right? I think like the Roman Empire lasted for 100 years and some other empire, I don't know. And we're just about to hit 100 years for the creation of the US. So we're bumping up against this weird theory here really close. And like these types of things that we're doing across the way are helping to facilitate the burning down of Rome, our Rome, faster than ever. Like you are just throwing flint into the fire. Like we already have conflicts here. We're $3 trillion plus dollars in debt. Why are we funding these stupid wars across the way? Why are we giving Israel all this money to slaughter innocent people in Palestine? Why are we trying to figure out a regime across the way when we can't even figure out what we're doing in the States? We have homelessness, we have people on drugs, we have so many things wrong with the States, and yet we're still trying to figure out how to install democracy in Venezuela? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think most Americans are in the same boat that I'm in here. We're like, what are we doing? Like, look, Trump, for all his faults or whatever, like he had two campaign things that he ran on, right? One was America First, and two was immigration. He's been doing the shit out of immigration, and it's like terribly, I will say. And he's essentially doing both things pretty bad, but even worse, America First has been terrible. Why are we funding all these wars? Why are we trying to install democracies across the pond? Why are we trying to govern a whole country that we have went across, over, sideways, over? Sorry, I'm just like, we have a constitution and we're supposed to abide by the constitution. It feels like this president in particular doesn't give a shit about the constitution. And that's really scary, because then what do we base our checks and balances on? You're supposed to go to Congress in order to do these things. You don't just unilaterally decide that you want to kidnap a dude who you think is bad, which again, he is bad, but still, it doesn't. You're not allowed to do that. We don't do that. You don't go and kidnap Xi Jinping or somebody from the CCP and expect things to be dandy. And I think they're doing this for a reason. Obviously, we went to Iraq for a reason. For a reason. It wasn't because of weapons of mass destruction, and we went to Venezuela for another reason. And it wasn't because we care for the people. Gotta follow the trail of money, I guess. I just a hell of a way to start the new year. I don't even know what is. Bingo card is just completely broken, right? I mean, this was not on anybody's. Well, maybe some insider traders have been making money on Kalshi, obviously. So I'm sure it was on their bingo card very recently. But man, I guess tune in next to see what happens. But it's not looking good, man. We're throwing the flint on the fire, and it feels like we're just going closer and closer to midnight, and that's probably going to be some type of like catastrophic war, whether that be World War III or the breaking off of like NATO or like certain, I don't know, but it doesn't feel like it's scary. It's scary is what it is. All right, that's all I got. Peace.